I knew something was wrong the second Michael walked through the door that afternoon. My son, my brilliant, hard-working, never-missed-a-deadline son, was white as a sheet. His backpack slipped off his shoulder and hit the floor. He didn't even bend to pick it up. "Michael?" I stood up from the kitchen table. "Honey, what's wrong?" He opened his mouth. Nothing came out. Then his face crumpled and he just collapsed, right there in the doorway. 18 years old, 6 feet tall, and sobbing like he was 5 again. I caught him. Barely. We sank to the floor together, and I held him while he shook. "They rejected me," he finally choked out. "Princeton rejected me." My stomach dropped. That couldn't be right. Michael had a 4.0 GPA. Perfect SAT scores. Captain of the debate team. Volunteered at the Children's Hospital every weekend for 3 years. Princeton had been his dream since he was 12. "There has to be a mistake," I said. My hands were shaking as I rubbed his back. "Your application was perfect. Your essay was—" "They said I withdrew it." His voice cracked. "3 weeks ago. They said I sent an email citing behavioral issues and inability to meet academic standards. Mom, I would never." "You know that gut feeling when something's off?" "Yeah, that one. Keep reading. This gets worse. Before this all fell apart, let me tell you who we are. I'm in my early 40s, work as a paralegal at a small firm downtown. Michael is my only child. His dad, my husband Tom, is a high school guidance counselor. We've been married for 20 years. We're not rich, but we're comfortable. We saved for Michael's college fund since he was born. Tom and I met in college. He was studying education. I was pre-law until I got pregnant junior year. We got married, had Michael, and I put my dreams on hold. No regrets. Michael became my dream. Watching him succeed, achieve things I never got to, that was enough, or so I thought. Tom always said Michael's success was our family's success. We were a team, the 3 of us against the world. I believed that. God, I was so stupid. The next morning, I called Princeton admissions. Sat on hold for 45 minutes with my heart hammering against my ribs. "Yes, we received a withdrawal request on October 15th, the admissions counselor said. Her voice was professional, detached. "From Michael's personal email account. It stated that he'd exhibited behavioral issues at school and felt he couldn't meet Princeton's academic standards. That's impossible." My voice came out too loud. "My son never sent that. He would never—" The email came from his account, ma'am, with his digital signature. Someone had hacked his email, or gotten his password, or— I hung up, sat there at the kitchen table staring at my phone. Who would do this? Who would sabotage my son's future? Tom found me there an hour later. I'd been crying. I didn't even realize it until he touched my shoulder and I felt the tears on my face. "Sweetheart?" He sat down next to me, took my hand. "What happened?" I told him everything. The phone call, the withdrawal, the email that Michael never sent. Tom's face went through this whole performance. Shock, confusion, anger. Looking back, I can see how fake it was, but in that moment, I needed someone to lean on. I needed my husband. "This is insane," he said. His jaw was clenched. "Someone did this on purpose. We need to call the police. This is identity theft, fraud." "But who?" I grabbed his hands. "Who would do this to him?" Tom shook his head slowly, pulled me close. "I don't know, but we'll figure it out. We'll fix this." He suggested Michael take a gap year. Apply again next cycle. Beef up his resume. Princeton would see it was all a mistake. It sounded reasonable. It sounded like he was on our side. You're probably already screaming at me. "It was him! Your husband!" "Yeah, I know. But I didn't see it yet. Sometimes the people closest to us are the best liars." The next few weeks were hell. Michael barely ate, stopped going to school. His counselor, not Tom's school, thank God, recommended therapy. My vibrant, confident son turned into a ghost who shuffled between his bedroom and the bathroom. I kept searching for answers, kept trying to figure out who had hacked his email, checked his computer, his phone. Nothing. Then came Thanksgiving planning. Tom's sister Karen called. She wanted to host this year, big family dinner, all the relatives. Tyler just got some great news, she gushed on the phone. We want to celebrate. Tyler, Karen's son, Michael's cousin. They'd grown up together, but they weren't close. Tyler was, how do I say this without being mean, not academically inclined. Nice kid, just not Princeton material. What news? I asked, though I was only half listening. I was looking at Michael's Princeton rejection letter for the 100th time. It's a surprise. We'll announce it at dinner. Something about her voice made my skin prickle. 3 days before Thanksgiving, I needed to print something from Tom's computer. Mine was getting repaired. He was at work. I logged in. We'd always shared passwords, no secrets in our marriage, and opened his email to forward myself a document. That's when I saw the folder, buried in his archived files. Princeton, Michael, do not delete. My hands went cold. My heart started hammering so hard I thought I might pass out. I clicked it. 53 emails, from Tom to Princeton admissions, from Tom to Karen, from Tom to Tyler. I read every single one. Sat there for 3 hours reading. Then I read them again. My husband, Michael's father, had withdrawn Michael's application. He'd been emailing the admissions office for months, building a case that Michael was unstable and unmotivated. He'd fabricated behavioral incidents, claimed Michael had anger issues at school. All lies. Complete, calculated lies. And the reason why? The reason my husband destroyed our son's future? An email from Karen, dated September 2nd. Tom, Tyler really needs this. His grades aren't Princeton level, but with Michael out of the way, he'd have a better shot at the legacy spot from Dad's donation. I can give you $50,000 if you make this happen. Tyler deserves this opportunity. Michael's smart. He'll get in anywhere. Help your nephew. Tom's response, same day. Deal. I'll handle it. Michael's too smart anyway. Makes Tyler look bad at family gatherings. This works out for everyone. Wire the money to my personal account. Not joint. Sarah doesn't need to know. My vision blurred. I couldn't breathe right. The room was spinning, but I couldn't look away from the screen. My husband sold our son's future for $50,000 in family politics. I don't remember standing up. Don't remember walking to the bathroom. But suddenly I was on the floor, throwing up. Everything in my stomach gone. Then dry heaving until my ribs ached. Tom had done this. The man who'd held my hand through labor, who'd taught Michael to ride a bike, who'd coached his little league team. He'd sabotaged our son, his own child. I sat on that cold bathroom floor for an hour, maybe 2, trying to make sense of it, trying to figure out how I'd missed this. What kind of monster marries you, builds a life with you, raises a child with you, and then destroys that child for money? But here's the thing that saved me. I got angry. Not sad, not heartbroken, furious. That rage pulled me off the bathroom floor, pushed me back to Tom's computer. I forwarded every email to my personal account, saved screenshots, downloaded everything to a flash drive. Then I did something I'm not proud of. I went through his browser history, his phone records synced to the computer, his text messages, found texts between him and Karen going back months, planning, scheming, found his bank statements. That $50,000 from Karen? He'd spent it, boat payment, credit card debt, season tickets to football games, our son's future, sold for toys and entertainment. I heard the garage door open. Tom was home. I closed everything, deleted my browsing history, cleared the cache. Sat down at the kitchen table with a cup of tea like nothing had happened. Hey, babe. He kissed the top of my head. How's Michael today? I looked up at my husband, the father of my child, the man who just destroyed our family, and I smiled. About the same. I think the gap year idea was good. Maybe this is a blessing in disguise. Relief flooded his face. He actually looked relieved. That's my girl, always finding the positive. I wanted to throw my hot tea in his face, wanted to scream, wanted to show him the emails and watch him squirm, but I didn't, because right then I remembered something. Michael had been working on a documentary project for his media class all semester. Ordinary Life Through the Lens or something like that. He'd been recording everything: family dinners, holiday gatherings, daily life. He'd been recording at the dinner table for months, every conversation, every fake sympathetic comment from Tom about Princeton, every lie. Michael had evidence. He just didn't know it yet. So tell me, if you found out your spouse destroyed your child's future for money, what would you do? Call them out immediately, or play the long game and make them pay? Drop a comment. Because what I did next, Tom never saw it coming. Okay, so you're probably wondering how I went from devastated wife to undercover investigator so fast. Trust me, rage is one hell of a motivator. Let me tell you how this played out. I waited until Tom left for work the next morning, listened for his car to pull out of the driveway, counted to 60. Then I went to Michael's room. He was still in bed, hadn't been sleeping well since the rejection. The curtains were drawn, room dark, except for the glow from his laptop. Michael? I sat on the edge of his bed. Honey, I need to talk to you about your documentary project. He rolled over, confused. My what? The one for media class. You've been filming family dinners? Oh. He rubbed his face. Yeah. Why? Where do you keep the footage? External hard drive, in my desk drawer. Mom, can I see it? Something in my voice made him sit up. What's going on? I couldn't tell him. Not yet. Not until I knew exactly what we had. Just trust me, please. He got the hard drive, handed it to me. I spent the next 6 hours in my bedroom with the door locked, headphones on, going through every single video file. Weeks of footage. Dinners, weekend breakfasts, casual conversations in the living room, and there it was. Everything. September 8th, dinner. Tom on his phone, texting Karen. Michael asked him what he was doing. Just helping your cousin Tyler with some college stuff, Tom said. He's having a rough time with applications. September 15th. Karen and her family came over. Tyler mentioned Princeton. Tom jumped in fast. You know, Tyler, you'd probably have a better shot at legacy admissions if you were the only family candidate. Too bad there's competition. He'd looked right at Michael when he said it. September 22nd. Tom's parents came for dinner. Grandpa Joe mentioned his alumni donation to Princeton. That should help Michael's chances, he'd said proudly. Tom had laughed. Well, you never know. Michael's been under a lot of stress lately, acting out a bit. Not sure Princeton's the right fit anymore. Michael's confused face on camera. Dad, I'm fine. I'm not stressed. You don't always see it yourself, son. Gaslighting. Right there on video. Making Michael question himself. October 5th. Tom told the whole family that Michael was reconsidering Princeton. It's a lot of pressure. He's thinking about taking time off. Michael. No, I'm not. I never said that. Tom. We talked about it last week, remember? Michael. Did we? I don't remember. My son, doubting his own memory, because his father was rewriting reality. I watched Tom poison every conversation, plant seeds of doubt, tell relatives Michael was overwhelmed and unstable. And then came October 14th, the night before the withdrawal email. Tom in the kitchen on his phone, not knowing Michael was filming from the living room. Tom's voice, barely audible but clear enough. Yeah, Karen. I'm doing it tomorrow. No, he'll never know it was me. I have his passwords, remember? I'm his dad. He trusts me. 50 grand is 50 grand. Tyler deserves this more anyway. I had to pause the video, had to breathe. My hands were shaking so badly I nearly dropped the laptop. This wasn't just a betrayal. This was premeditated, calculated, evil. I kept watching. Found more. November 2nd. Tom convinced his parents, Michael's grandparents, to change their will. Michael's going to be fine, he'd told them. He's smart. He'll land on his feet. But Tyler needs more support. He's struggling. Maybe adjust the inheritance split? Give Tyler a bigger share? Grandpa Joe had actually agreed. You're right, Tom. Michael will be successful no matter what. Tyler needs the help more. My father-in-law, manipulated into leaving his own grandson less money. November 10th. Tom told his sister the plan was working perfectly. Michael's depressed, Sarah's focused on helping him, nobody suspects anything. Tyler's application is looking strong now that Michael's out of the picture. But here's what made my blood run cold. November 18th dinner. Karen mentioned Tyler had been so stressed about college applications. Tom laughed. Well, good thing I helped him out with that little situation at school. What situation? I'd asked on the video. Oh, nothing. Just smoothed over a minor academic integrity issue. It's handled. Tyler had cheated, and Tom had covered it up. So let me get this straight. Tom destroyed Michael's chances to help a kid who'd cheated his way through school. A kid who didn't even earn his grades honestly. Are you getting angry yet? Because I was beyond anger. I was in that ice-cold, calculated revenge territory. You know that feeling when you get so mad you become calm? Yeah, that's where I was heading. I copied everything, every video file, burned them to 3 separate DVDs, uploaded them to a private cloud account, gave one DVD to my best friend Rachel with instructions to mail it to my lawyer if anything happened to me. Paranoid? Maybe. But I'd just discovered my husband was a monster. Who knew what else he was capable of? Then I called Princeton, got transferred 4 times, finally reached someone in the Office of Admissions Integrity. My name is Sarah Mitchell, I said. My voice was steady. Weird how calm I sounded. My son Michael's application was fraudulently withdrawn. I have evidence that proves it was done by a family member to benefit another applicant. Video evidence, email evidence. I'm prepared to bring this to law enforcement and the media if necessary, but I wanted to give Princeton the opportunity to review it first. Silence on the other end. Then, can you send us what you have? I sent everything. Emails, bank statements showing Karen's payment to Tom, video clips with timestamps, a detailed timeline of Tom's sabotage. They called back 3 hours later. Mrs. Mitchell, this is highly irregular, but given the evidence you've provided, we're reopening Michael's application immediately. We're also launching an internal investigation into Tyler's application. If your husband is found to have submitted false information, there will be consequences. What kind of consequences? Legal ones, potentially, and we'll need to report this to his employer. He's a guidance counselor, correct? This is a serious ethics violation. Good. Let him burn, but I didn't tell them to move forward yet. I need time, I said, to prepare my son, to figure out next steps. Can you give me 2 weeks? We can give you until December 1st. After that, we have to proceed with our investigation regardless. December 1st. That was the day after Thanksgiving. Perfect timing. I started acting defeated around Tom, complaining about how depressed Michael was, how maybe the gap year was the right choice, how we should focus on what's best for him now. Tom ate it up, got more confident, more careless, started spending more money, came home with new watches, upgraded his phone, talked about getting a bigger boat next summer. His son was suffering and he was shopping. I played the supportive wife, smiled when he showed me his new toys, agreed that he deserved nice things after all his hard work. Michael noticed I was calmer, asked me about it. I'm accepting the situation, I told him. Hated lying to my son, but I couldn't risk him confronting Tom before I was ready. Sometimes life doesn't work out how we plan. We'll figure it out together. He hugged me, thanked me for being strong. I held him and thought, just wait, baby, just wait. 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, Karen called, excited, bubbly. Sarah, I can't wait for you to hear Tyler's big news. We're so proud of him, and Tom's been such a huge help with the college process. We're so grateful. I bet you are, you witch. What's the news? I asked, playing dumb. You'll have to wait until Thanksgiving. It's going to be such a wonderful celebration. She wanted to announce Tyler's Princeton acceptance, the spot he stole from Michael, at a family dinner, in front of my son. These people were sociopaths. I can't wait, I said sweetly. We'll definitely be there. After I hung up, I started planning. Tom's whole family would be there, his parents, his siblings, Tyler, everyone who'd been part of this or who'd believed Tom's lies about Michael. They'd all hear the truth. Together. I spent the next 2 weeks preparing, converted the video files to a format that would play on any device, created a highlight reel, 15 minutes of the most damaging footage, burned it to a DVD, tested it 3 times to make sure it would work. Made a list of every person who needed to be there, confirmed everyone was coming, called a divorce attorney, had papers drawn up, ready to file, called Princeton back, told them to prepare their official reinstatement letter, to have someone from admissions available by phone on November 29th. Everything was ready, every piece in place. The night before Thanksgiving, Tom was in a great mood, humming while he packed his golf clubs. He and his dad always played the morning of Thanksgiving. "You seem happy," I said. "I am." He kissed me. "Life's good, you know. We're doing well. Michael's going to be fine. Family's healthy. Can't complain." I smiled. "No, can't complain." He had no idea that in less than 24 hours his entire world was going to explode. The calm before the storm, right? Tom thought he'd gotten away with it. Karen thought she'd won. Tyler thought he was Princeton bound. Tomorrow at that Thanksgiving table, I was going to destroy all of them. You ready for this? Because I definitely was. Have you ever been so angry that you got calm? Ice cold calm? That's where I was pulling into Karen's driveway that Thanksgiving. Tom had no clue. None of them did. The house was already full when we arrived. Tom's parents' car in the driveway, his brother's SUV. Everyone was there. Perfect. Michael was quiet on the drive over. He'd been like that for weeks, this hollow version of my vibrant son. But I'd told him that morning to trust me, that something good was going to happen today. He'd looked at me like I'd lost my mind. "Mom, Tyler's going to announce his college acceptance at a family dinner while I'm sitting there with nothing. This is going to be hell." "I know, baby. Trust me anyway." Tom was whistling. Actually whistling. My husband, the man who'd destroyed our son's future, was cheerful as he carried the pumpkin pie to the door. Karen opened it, all smiles and hugs. "You made it. Come in, come in. We're just waiting for Uncle Pete and Aunt Linda, then we'll start." The dining room was decorated like a Pinterest board. Fall leaves, fancy centerpieces, a banner that said, "Congratulations, Tyler." I watched Michael's face crumble when he saw it, watched him try to hide it, plaster on a fake smile. Tom put his arm around Tyler. "Proud of you, nephew." I was going to destroy him. All of them. Everyone sat down, turkey on the table, all the traditional fixings. Tom's mother asked Michael about school. He gave one-word answers. She looked concerned, then looked at Tom. Tom just shook his head sadly. "He's having a tough time. We're working through it." Painting himself as the supportive father, the caring dad helping his struggling son. I sipped my wine and waited. After dinner, after everyone was full and comfortable, Karen stood up, glass in hand. "Everyone, we have a huge announcement." Her voice was shaking with excitement. "As you all know, Tyler's been working so hard on college applications, and we just found out last week." She paused for dramatic effect. "Tyler's been accepted to Princeton University." The table erupted. Cheers. Congratulations. Grandpa Joe was beaming. "That's my boy. Another Princeton man in the family." Tyler stood up looking proud. "Thanks, everyone. I couldn't have done it without Uncle Tom's guidance." Tom was grinning. Actually stood up to hug Tyler. "You earned it, kid." Michael's face was white. His hands were shaking. He pushed his chair back. "I need to... Excuse me." "Wait." I put my hand on his shoulder, gently pushed him back down. "Stay." Tom looked at me. Something in my voice made his smile falter. "Honey?" I said wait. I stood up, went to my purse, pulled out my laptop. Karen laughed nervously. "Sarah, what are you doing?" "I have something to show everyone." I opened the laptop, set it on the table where everyone could see. About Tyler's acceptance and Michael's rejection. Tom's face went from confused to pale. "Sarah, this isn't the time." "It's exactly the time." I clicked play. The video started, September 8th. Tom on his phone texting Karen about helping Tyler with college. "What is this?" Tom's mother asked. Keep watching. September 15th. Tom's comment about Tyler having a better shot without competition. Tom stood up. Turn that off, right now. No. I didn't even look at him, kept my eyes on the screen. Everyone needs to see this. This is it. The moment everything comes crashing down. You know that feeling when you're watching something inevitable happen and you can't look away? Everyone at that table felt it. September 22nd. Tom gaslighting Michael about being stressed and acting out. Michael was staring at the screen. Dad, you said I was reconsidering Princeton, but I never. Michael, I can explain. October 5th. Tom lying to the family about Michael reconsidering. Grandpa Joe's face was changing, confusion shifting to something darker. Then came October 14th, Tom's voice on the phone with Karen. Clear as day. Yeah, Karen, I'm doing it tomorrow. No, he'll never know it was me. I have his passwords, remember? I'm his dad. He trusts me. 50 grand is 50 grand. Tyler deserves this more anyway. The room went dead silent. Karen's face drained of color. Tom, what is she? Keep watching, I said. My voice was steel. November 10th. Tom telling Karen the plan was working perfectly. November 18th. Tom admitting he'd covered up Tyler's cheating scandal. Tyler. Uncle Tom, you said you wouldn't. The video stopped. I'd saved the best for last. I pulled up Tom's email on the screen, the one from Karen offering $50,000. Tom's acceptance. His bank statement showing the deposit. Tom withdrew Michael's Princeton application, I said, voice steady, loud enough for everyone to hear. He hacked Michael's email and sent a withdrawal letter claiming behavioral issues. He did it for $50,000 from Karen, to give Tyler a better chance at the legacy spot from Grandpa Joe's donation. That's insane, Karen stammered. Tom, tell her Is it insane? I turned to face her. Because I have 53 emails between you two. I have bank records. I have video evidence of Tom manipulating this entire family for months, and I have proof that Tyler cheated at school and Tom covered it up. Grandpa Joe stood up, slowly. His face was red. Tom, tell me this isn't true. Tom opened his mouth. Nothing came out. Tell me you didn't sabotage my grandson, your own son. Dad, it wasn't like that. Then what was it like? Tom's father's voice was shaking. Because what I just saw looks like you sold your son's future for a boat payment. How did you know about the boat? Tom's voice came out weak. Because I looked at your bank statements, you idiot. I pulled out printed copies, threw them on the table. You spent the money on a boat, football tickets, and credit card debt, while your son was falling apart thinking he wasn't good enough for Princeton. Michael was crying, silent tears streaming down his face. Dad, you did this? Tom reached for him. Son, don't touch him. I stepped between them. Don't you dare touch him. My phone rang, loud in the sudden silence. I'd been waiting for this call. Hello? I answered, put it on speaker. Yes, this is she. Mrs. Mitchell, this is Dean Roberts from Princeton University Office of Admissions. Is this a good time? You could hear a pin drop. Perfect timing, actually, I said. I have you on speaker. My family's all here. Wonderful. I wanted to personally inform Michael that after reviewing the evidence you provided, Princeton has reinstated his application with our sincerest apologies. Moreover, given the extraordinary circumstances and Michael's exceptional qualifications, we're offering him a full scholarship. 4 years, all expenses covered. We'd like him to start in the spring semester if possible. Michael's mouth fell open. What? Additionally, Dean Roberts continued, we've withdrawn Tyler's acceptance. The evidence of academic dishonesty and the fraudulent circumstances surrounding his application have disqualified him. We've also filed a report with the State Education Board regarding Mr. Thomas Mitchell's conduct as a guidance counselor. There will be an investigation into his ethics violations. Tom's knees buckled. He grabbed the table for support. Thank you, Dean Roberts, I said. Michael will be thrilled to accept. I hung up. The room exploded, Karen screaming at Tom, Tom's father yelling, his mother crying, Tyler trying to defend himself, everyone talking at once. I just stood there, calm, watching it all unfold. Michael grabbed my arm. "Mom, is this real?" "It's real, baby." I hugged him. "You're going to Princeton, full scholarship. You earned it. You always earned it." He was sobbing. Happy sobs this time. "I don't understand. How did you—" "Your documentary project. You recorded everything. Every conversation. Every dinner. You had all the evidence. You just didn't know it." Karen lunged at me. Tom's brother caught her. "You bitch! You ruined everything!" "No." I looked at her dead in the eye. "Your brother ruined everything when he decided his son was worth less than $50,000. I just made sure everyone knew the truth." Grandpa Joe was standing over Tom. I'd never seen him look so disgusted. "Get out of my house." "Dad, please. Get out." Tom looked at me, desperate. "Sarah, we can fix this. We can—" "No," I said. "We really can't." I pulled the divorce papers out of my purse, dropped them on his plate. "You'll be served officially on Monday. But I wanted you to have these now. Happy Thanksgiving." Justice feels good, doesn't it? But this wasn't over yet. Tom lost his family's respect that night, but he was about to lose so much more. Want to know what happened when the dust settled? Comment if you're ready for the ending. You'd think the Thanksgiving explosion was the end, right? Oh, it was just the beginning. Tom's world was about to completely collapse. And honestly, he deserved every second of it. The days after Thanksgiving were chaos. Tom tried calling me 200 times the first day alone, left voicemails crying, begging, explaining. I didn't listen to a single one. He showed up at the house Saturday morning. I'd changed the locks Friday night. He stood on the porch banging on the door until I called the police, watched from the window as they escorted him away. Michael was— I don't even know how to describe it. It was like watching someone come back to life. That light in his eyes returned. He started eating again, sleeping, smiling. Princeton sent his acceptance package on Monday. Express delivery. Michael opened it at the kitchen table with tears running down his face. "I'm going to Princeton, Mom." "You're going to Princeton, baby." We hugged for probably 10 minutes, just holding each other. Both of us crying. Tom's family was another story. Grandpa Joe called me Tuesday morning. "Sarah, I need to apologize. I changed my will. Tom convinced me that Michael was unstable, that he needed less support than Tyler. I'm fixing it immediately. Michael gets everything we'd planned for him. More, actually, and Tom gets nothing. Joe, you don't have to—" "Yes, I do. My grandson suffered because I listened to my son's lies. I'm fixing this." Karen tried to blame me for ruining Tyler's future. Left me voicemails screaming about how I'd destroyed an innocent kid's dreams. I sent her one text back. Tyler cheated. Tom covered it up. Princeton found out. Actions have consequences. Don't contact me again. She didn't. Tyler actually reached out to Michael directly. A long email apologizing. Said he knew something was off, but didn't want to believe his uncle would actually sabotage his own son. Said he should have spoken up. Should have been honest about the cheating. Michael showed me the email. Asked what he should do. "That's your choice, honey. How do you feel?" "I don't know. I'm angry. But he's my cousin, and he's apologizing. That's more than Dad's done." Michael ended up responding. Said he appreciated the apology but needed space. Maybe someday they could rebuild their relationship, but not now. Not yet. I was proud of him for that. For being the bigger person. For setting boundaries. The State Education Board launched their investigation into Tom the following week. Turns out, sabotaging your own son to benefit a different student while working as a guidance counselor is a massive ethics violation. Who knew? His principal called me. "Mrs. Mitchell, I wanted you to know. Tom's been placed on administrative leave pending the investigation. If the allegations are substantiated, he'll be terminated and likely lose his counseling license." "Thank you for calling," I said. Felt nothing. No satisfaction, no sadness. Just nothing. 2 weeks later, Tom was fired. The investigation found multiple instances of him using his position inappropriately. Not just with Michael and Tyler, but other students too, pushing his favorite kids' applications, holding back others, playing God with teenagers' futures. His counseling license was revoked. He'd never work in education again. Remember when I said Tom had no idea what was coming? Turns out karma doesn't just show up. It brings receipts, a wrecking ball, and a scorched earth policy. Keep reading. There's more. The divorce was ugly. Tom fought everything, wanted to keep the house, wanted half my retirement, wanted me to pay him alimony since he'd lost his job. My lawyer laughed. Actually laughed. Your client committed fraud, identity theft, and sabotaged his own minor child. My client has evidence of all of it. If we go to court, I'll make sure every local news station has this story. Tom's lawyer advised him to settle. I got the house, full custody of Michael. Not that it mattered, he was 18. Tom got to keep his boat and his credit card debt. No alimony. He pays child support until Michael graduates college, even though Michael has a full scholarship. Why make him pay if Michael's covered? My lawyer asked. Principal, I said. He needs to contribute something to the son he tried to destroy. Tom ended up in a studio apartment on the bad side of town, working retail, barely scraping by. His mother called me once, crying. Sarah, Tom's family, can't you? He stopped being my family when he sabotaged my son, I said. He made his choices. He lives with them. Michael started at Princeton in January. I helped him move into his dorm, met his roommate, a nice kid from Oregon, hung up his posters, made his bed. Mom, you don't have to. Let me, please. Before I left, he hugged me. Thank you for everything, for fighting for me, for not letting him win. You're my son, I said. I'll always fight for you. Driving home from Princeton, I felt different, lighter, like I'd been carrying something heavy for months and finally put it down. I enrolled in law school that spring, online classes part-time. I was 42 years old, but so what? I'd put my dreams on hold for 20 years, time to pick them back up. My first class was family law, seemed appropriate. A year later, Michael invited me to his documentary screening. He'd finished the project, the same one that had recorded Tom's betrayal, turned it into his final project for his media class. The title, Betrayal Through the Lens, A Family's Destruction. It won an award. The professor called it raw, honest, and necessary viewing. Tom tried to file a lawsuit to block it, said it violated his privacy. The judge dismissed it. You can't commit fraud on camera and then claim privacy protection when the footage is used against you. Michael's documentary went viral on campus, then on social media. Students were sharing it, talking about it, using it in their own classes as an example of documentary ethics. My son turned his trauma into art, into something meaningful. I couldn't be prouder. 2 years after that Thanksgiving, Michael called me from campus. Mom, you need to check your email, right now. I opened my laptop. Email from Michael's professor. Michael's documentary had been selected for a film festival, a big one, in New York. Mom, did you see? I see it, baby. I'm so proud of you. There's more. A production company wants to buy the rights. Turn it into a longer documentary about education fraud and parental manipulation. My son's worst experience was becoming his launching pad. What do you want to do? I asked. I want to do it. I want to tell this story, not just ours, all the kids whose parents sabotage them, who get hurt by the people supposed to protect them. Someone needs to talk about this. Then do it. Tell the story. The documentary came out last year, expanded version. Michael interviewed other students who'd experienced similar betrayals, kids whose parents had sabotaged them for siblings, for money, for reputation. It was devastating and necessary. Tom tried to contact Michael after it premiered, left him a voicemail. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but I'm sorry. I was wrong. I destroyed the best thing in my life. I miss you. I love you. Michael deleted it without listening to the whole thing. Do you think you'll ever talk to him? I asked. I don't know. Maybe someday, but not now. He doesn't get to be part of my success after he tried to destroy me. Smart kid. As for me, I graduated law school last May, passed the bar on my first try. Now I work for a nonprofit that helps students navigate college application fraud and family educational interference. I tell Michael's story, with his permission, to other families, help them gather evidence, fight back. Last month, I helped a girl whose mother had sabotaged her medical school applications because she wanted her to be a lawyer instead. We got her into her first choice program. The mom apologized, said she'd been trying to protect her daughter from a difficult career. Your job isn't to control your child's future, I told her. It's to support them building their own. She cried, said she understood now. Some parents can change, some learn. Tom never did. He sent Michael a card for his birthday this year. Michael's 22 now, graduating Princeton in the spring with honors. The card said, "Proud of you, son. Always was." Michael showed it to me. Should I respond? That's your call, baby. What does your heart say? He thought about it, then put the card in a drawer. Maybe later, not now. He never responded. Some bridges burn, some stay burned, and that's okay. Here's what I learned from all of this. Parents are supposed to build their children up, not tear them down. We're supposed to celebrate their success, not sabotage it for our own gain. Tom forgot that, or maybe he never understood it in the first place. But Michael gets it. He's going to be a father someday, and he'll be amazing at it. Because he knows what not to do. He knows what real love looks like. And me? I finally figured out who I'm supposed to be. Not just Michael's mom or Tom's wife, but Sarah. Someone who fights for kids. Someone who doesn't let betrayal win. It took my husband destroying our son to wake me up. But I'm awake now, and I'm never going back to sleep. To every parent reading this, your child's success isn't a threat to anyone else. Their dreams aren't something to sacrifice for convenience or money. Love them, support them, fight for them, not against them. And to anyone who's been betrayed by someone supposed to protect them, you're not alone. You're stronger than they tried to make you believe. You'll survive this. I did. Michael did. You will too. Share this if someone in your life needs to hear it.